It's pretty incredible when you think about it, how history can turn on the smallest of things. A word, a single spark, or, in this case, just a simple handful of salt. Today, we're going to dive into the story of how a protest over something you find in every kitchen literally shook the foundations of the British Empire.
I mean, how can a pinch of salt actually threaten an entire empire? It sounds crazy, right? But that's the central question we're going to tackle. How did this everyday mineral become such a powerful weapon for a revolution? Well, to get to the bottom of it, we have to go back and understand the world where all this went down.
So let's set the scene. We're going back to the 1930s, to an India that's under the very firm control of the British Raj. And the whole stage for this incredible story was set by one single, deeply, deeply unfair law.
Okay, so at the very heart of this whole conflict was something called the SALT Act of 1882. What was it? Well, in simple terms, it gave the British government a complete monopoly, total control over every single grain of salt in India. But what did that actually mean for the average person living there?
Well, the cruelty of this law was all in how it was designed. Just try to imagine this. You live in a coastal country, but you're forbidden, legally forbidden, from just walking down to the beach and collecting the natural salt that's right there. And then, to add insult to injury, you're forced to buy that exact same salt back from your rulers, but now it's got this massive, heavy tax slapped on it. For the poorest families, this wasn't just some small annoyance. No way. It was an absolutely crushing financial burden.
So into this really tense situation steps one of history's most famous figures, Mahatma Gandhi. And he knew that to really challenge the British, he needed something that would unite all Indians. And, well, he came up with a plan that was nothing short of audacious.
You see, Gandhi's genius here was in choosing salt. You might be asking, why salt? Well, think about it. Everybody needed it. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor, what your religion was, where you lived, salt cut across all those lines. So by targeting the salt tax, he wasn't just protesting some random law. He was hitting at a symbol of British oppression that every single Indian felt, personally. It was brilliant.
And his weapon of choice? It wasn't going to be violence. Instead, he chose satyagraha, which basically means truth force. It's this powerful idea of nonviolent civil disobedience. And then, in a move that was just unbelievably bold, he writes a letter to the British Viceroy, a guy named Lord Irwin, and tells him exactly what he's planning to do. The British, they pretty much just laughed it off. That, my friends, was a big mistake.
So the plan is set, the letter's been sent, and the world was about to witness one of the most incredible protests in all of history. A long, grueling walk to the sea. It all kicked off on March 12, 1930. And you know what?